Hello everyone. This is a video I wanted to make since the beginning of my channel. And I'm very, very happy I got around to doing this. I just finally come to a big resolution. And that is due to the title that you see down below, which is favorite to least favorite of Star Wars movies. Well, it's, of course, it's titled favorite to least favorite, top 6 favorite movies. Top 6 Star Wars movies. And as always, I know everyone's gonna be pleased with this list. So as always, just take into consideration that this is just my view, and I'm more than happy to see what you guys think of this list. And of course, as always, everyone just leave your list down below, because I always love seeing your opinion on these. And don't consider there's some rules of this, and number one is that the in-between movies don't count, like the 2003-2005 short Clone Wars miniseries. Those ones don't count, and the 2008 movie does not count either. So it's just pure episode 1 to episode 6. Those 6 movies. That's it. Without ado, let's go into the list with my number 6 movie on my list, which of course is probably my least favorite. And this point is going to get a bit predictable, but Attack of the Clones. And also, I want to say is that I'm one of those rare Star Wars fans who loves each movie in their own way, and I do see both the pros and cons with every single movie. And there's no Star Wars movie where I say it's pure shit like that. I may say the Star Wars movie that may have more negatives than positives, but to me at least it comes to how I feel about it in the whole end. And without ado, because I'm already 2 minutes of this video, 2.5 minutes into this video, I'm basically saying all this type of stuff, and right now you're probably saying to me, get to the damn point. And here it is, my top 6 favorite Star Wars movies. And as always, I love doing this. Like I said before, number 6 for me is kind of obvious because it is the weakest of the 6, and that is Attack of the Clones. Let's get out and show it. Attack of the Clones, in my view, is not it may be the worst of the movies, but that still isn't saying enough. Like, yes, there's a terrible romance, bad dialogue, and pretty badly noticeable CG at times, but it does have some good moments. Like, there is, of course, always beautiful music. And to me, at least, it's one where I would say where the pros and cons evenly weigh each other out. It's like for every good thing I can say about this movie, I can say a bad thing about it, and then vice versa. If I say a bad thing about this movie, I also bring up something good about it. So for me, it may be the most balanced. Oh, who the hell am I kidding? That's not saying much. Anyway, but that's not it. But well, that's definitely for me, my least favorite of movies. But even though I do really enjoy this one for its own moments, I gotta say that for its own moments, there are some good moments. At number 5 for me is going to be Episode 1, Phantom Menace. This one is definitely it seemed like the prequels kind of did lose something along the way, but the first one did have some really good, outstanding things for its own sake. Like, Darth Maul was great. Like, of course, the villain is always great. I love Darth Maul. Ray Park, I believe, who played him. He's really good as him. I love the choreography in the fights. I love the pod race scene. That part was great. The final battle at the palace is wonderful. I actually really do enjoy this story. It seems like very good at a very pair and pick type of story mode where it goes, and I do really enjoy that for its own sake. And yeah, there's Jar Jar and Jake Lloyd, which are pretty unbearable, but by the end, I feel like it struggling through those in the end, kind of for me at least, really does come out on top of more good than bad, with great action, good villain, and a decent story, and with some pretty good, in my view, some good characters. Like, I do enjoy Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Padme. Overall, I'm going to say that The Phantom Menace is definitely one worthy prequel in my view. Number 4 for me is, some people may be a bit shocked that this one may be a bit low, but Revenge of the Jedi is my number 4th. For me, Return of the Jedi is probably my 4th, because it definitely does, in my view, this one definitely does contain the most of what Star Wars means. It has most of the sci-fi elements, it has the mystical adventures, it has the meanings behind it, and above all that type of stuff, it probably has the best finality, as it really does tie all 60s movies together. Not only that, but it makes it have such a solid, such a great ending for the movie, and by the end, I'm just like, that's really a wonderful way how they can completely wrapped it up, and how they could in a certain way, and the way like, they did it, to me at least, was really, really great, and I do love it. Yes, in my view, it is the weakest of the original 3, but I'm not going to say what I don't like about this movie. Well, actually I am. And that is, for me at least, it's not the Ewoks, but it's the fact that the Ewoks, a certain tribe of little teddy bears, take down these soldiers who are technically and skillfully superior to them. And that to me just boggles my mind. It's like having Iron Man and getting Iron Man's ass kicked by a bunch of tribal warriors. It's just, that doesn't seem physically mentally possible. Like, how can anyone think of that? I'm sorry, but that really does piss me off, and that's probably my least favorite thing about this movie. But even with that, it's still one of the best third installments in the trilogy. I definitely have to say that. Okay, and right by this point, you may be saying, "Oh my God, really? You put this one over Revenge of the Jedi?" And I do, and that is Revenge of the Sith. Now this one is completely personal, because this is the only one of the 6 that I've seen in theaters, and growing up watching these movies with the originals along with their with the prequels, to me at least, is that this one to me was really, when it seemed like it really tied it all together. It not only, it's kind of like the same thing with the last Hobbit movie, where it's not just closing out one trilogy, it's connecting it to another trilogy within its own universe, and making it all seem greatly tie up in its own certain realm of greatness, and making the whole franchise stand as a whole. Because if it ends up on a bad note, then it's gonna give the franchise a bit of a sour middle foundation for its own sake. But thankfully they did well, and I do, despite what some people say, I do really enjoy the ending. And also the fact that I'm going to say this once and only once, the choreography, the stunts, and the action in this movie are friggin' great. They really are. The production design, the effects, in my view, and this one really is the best. It has the best action, the best visuals, and it definitely does have some of the best action scenes, like Yoda and Sidious, Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin and Obi-Wan, Mace Windu and the Emperor. How many great battles? There's four freaking great battles in this movie, and just, my God, it really does have the most. And to me, at least, it's one where I was like really sold for these movies as a whole. Like, this is for me at least, this was the Star Wars movie where I realized this wasn't just a simple movie. This was creating an alternate universe within this whole franchise, and that to me really speaks a lot. Alright. Scratch my armpit. Don't need to hear that. And now my top 2. At this point, you may already know which ones, not which order, but you may not know which one will put over the other. Either episode 4 or 5 may be my favorite. Which one will it be? Well, when I just make it my number 2, which I probably will, it will honestly give out my number 1. And my number 2 favorite is Empire Strikes Back. That's right. The supposed most critically acclaimed of the movies is my second favorite. Why? Because not only is this may contain the most, to many people, this may be the most solid, the most well structured of all of them. It may have the best story, it has the best characters, and it has the most strongest elemental factors, and it not only takes the original about like Storm, but it takes it and does something new on a certain level, and it adds a whole new level of magic and mysticity, majestic nature to it. And The Empire Strikes Back is definitely the most critically acclaimed of the movies for a good reason, and it has probably the most spiritual moments in it, like Anakin searching for himself as a Jedi, promising what Ben Kenobi asked him to do, go to Dagobah system and learn from Yoda, facing Vader, helping save his friends, and making a hope and promise for the future, to get Han from what's his name? Oh my goodness. Chewie. To get Han Solo back from Jabba's palace, which will be ultimately in episode 6. Which is in the beginning of episode 6. But yes, Return of the Empire Strikes Back greatly lands on number 2 on my spot of the favorite of Star Wars movies. And with that, I pretty much gave away what is my personal favorite. It's kind of obvious by now, but well, A New Hope. A New Hope for me is definitely my favorite of the movies. I'll keep this up. Why, you may ask? To me at least, this is the most perfect. This is the most well-rounded. It has not only the best characters, not only the best story, but to me this is the Star Wars movie where I would say it may not have all the certain quintessential Star Wars elements that like episode 6 has, but this to me is so much more emotional. It's the one that I first saw. Of all the movies, this is the one where it really got me in a certain note, where I was just like, at a youngest age, I'm like, what the hell is this? This movie, I love it. And it really does speak to me within volumes. And to me at least, it's the Star Wars movie that not only did I see it first, but I would cherish the most memories of. It has the most iconic scenes, the most famous scenes, the most, like, hand shot first, the bar cantina, meeting Han and Louie, the trash compactor area, Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Vader, the final battle. Like, so many great moments in this, and it's the moments and the characters, and it's where it all started. And to me, that is where it started for me too. And my God, do I fucking love Star Wars. I understand, I fucking love Star Wars. And as bad as the prequels may get, never forget that the original 3 have problems too. And granted, I put one of the prequels above one of the originals, but you know what? It's all my own personal opinion, and to me at least, by the end, this is one of my favorite franchises of all time for a good reason. It's probably within my top 5 favorite movies of all time, definitely for me. And I wouldn't be the same person who I am today without Star Wars. Without all the toys. Without the movies. Without the expanded universe. Without the characters. And a sincere and genuine thank you to George Lucas for creating this phenomenal universe. And I'm really freaking hoping that The Force Awakens will be great. You know, who the hell am I kidding? It will be great. I love the trailer, both trailers. And as good and bad the franchise may get at times, it's the magic and the sci-fi aspects of Star Wars to me that really makes it one of the best franchises of all time. And one of the greatest movies of all time. There's nothing more to explain more than it's just Star Wars. And there's nothing more that I can be thankful of.